Hello trader, welcome back to deeppocketsforex. We'll be giving you our weekly forex forecast. If you're new to this channel and you have not subscribed, please make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification button so that you get our weekly updates. Also, if you've been following this channel for a while, thank you very much for your likes. Thank you very much for your comments. Your comments and your likes are highly appreciated. And this week we have only one tip to share with you. It's just a simple yet powerful tip. Now, this tip that we can give you is that never ever open a trade when the market is moving against you. One thing that you need to have in place whenever the market is moving against you is a stop loss. Stop loss should be there to accept whenever a trade turns against you, and the stop loss should not be wide. There must be a strategy, a stop loss strategy. You need to follow a system to be able to set stop loss. It's not something you just set randomly. You set stop loss looking at your risk to reward. So never ever enter on a trade that is moving against you. Never stack multiple trades whenever a trade is moving against you. Whenever a trade is moving against you, one thing that you should have in place is stop loss. That's it. We have USD Chf on this chart. For USD Chf, we focus on an up move from this area. We say that we're expecting an up move like this. We say that there's an expected movement, and then some few weeks back we managed to get this impulse move. Then after we got this impulse move, we focused at this corrective structure, and then we see that after this corrective structure we'll be able to get an up move. One thing that we mentioned here, we say that this corrective structure, it can be a small corrective structure and then we get an up, or we said it can be a bigger corrective structure and then price can continue up. This is what we stated in our forecast, and as of now we managed to just get a small corrective structure then up. One thing to keep in mind, when we get such a structure here, we may get a small correction like this, then one last up, then from here, just after slightly breaking this previous high, structure may give such a down move, which is expected to just slightly break this previous low here. Then from here we can be heading all the way up. That's a possible structure, and in wave analysis that's one of the possible outcomes. So on USD Chf, if you manage to buy from here or you're just buying from here, just be careful on this, be careful on this, be expectant of this all the time. Even if we can get volatility, we can get the market being volatile and then it just continues up like that, just keep in mind that this is a possible structure here. We can get this, or we can get something like this, then something like this, then down like this. Or it's also possible that we can continue up all the way like this. So if you are in this trade, what I'm just saying is manage your trade, make sure that your stop loss is at break even or in profits, so that whenever this down move follows through, you are taken out safely. That's on USD Chf. This is Aud Nzd. Now for Aud Nzd, we focus at an up move from here. We say that we're expecting a big up move. Then from here, we focus at a down move, and then we got that down move here. And then after we focus at that down move, we focus at an up move that is slightly gonna break this previous high. And as you can see, we got price moving up just like this, following a focus. We got a down move following a focus, and then price moved up, then down like this. Now getting a down move like this is mostly when people say you focus at an up move to break this previous high. Why are we getting a down move like this? But now you can see that price still followed up with this arrow. It went up, down, and then from here we got an up move like this, breaking previous high and breaking previous high. And if you look at this arrow, this is a setup that followed this arrow. This is a setup that followed this arrow all the way up to this area, as you can see, just as forecasted for you. Now, one thing also to keep in mind, whenever trading the forex market, the market does not always give impulse moves like this. Sometimes the market will try you, the market will try your patience, and if you're expecting movement to move up like this, you can get the market move like this, market move like this, market move like this. Now where most people lose patience is at the pullback points. At the pullback points, this is when your psychology is messed up with a little bit. So when you're trading the forex market, you should always expect this, so that you're not surprised whenever we focused a movement from here to push all the way up, and then we get up like this, down, up, down, up. So just keep that in mind, that this is expected, this is normal in the forex market. Getting pullbacks is a normal thing and it will always happen. Pair that was forecasted again is Euro USD. For Euro USD, what we forecasted to have a bigger corrective structure like this, then a down move, or a small corrective structure like this, then a down move. Now what you see here, we managed to get a small corrective structure. Now price is heading down like this. Now since we got this price heading down, and it looks like we're still having price having to head even more down from here, based on structure, we can focus a slight correction here, then another small down move. Then after we get this small down move, we might get price moving like this. We might get price moving like this up to this area, This is an expected movement. We might get price moving like this. Then we can have price giving something like a down move here. Then after we get that down move here, we can be having a big wave up like this, something like this. Then from here we can be assessing structure. We can have a slight correction here, or we can have it here. Then we can have a down move, then up like this. It's very possible. Just as we focus at a correction here, we say correction down. So from here we may get an up move after this correction, and there's an up move that it's tradable. You can be able to trade it up to around this area, breaking this previous high here. This is USD Jpy. Now for USD Jpy, one thing that you need to keep in mind here is that this setup was focused from this level here. We moved up like this, up to this area, and that was around 600 pips. So after moving that 600 pips, we focus at a corrective structure here, and then we say that there's an up move that's continuing, because this wave here is still expected. That's what we said. We say that this wave here, it's still expected, because we're expecting this big wave from here to complete its movement, and it hasn't completed its movement. Now as you can see, right from this area up to this area, we have price moving at around 800 pips right from here to here. This is somewhere like 800 pips on USD Jpy. So if you are to trade, if you are still trading this big movement, just be on the lookout that we can get a reversal either from here or around this area, so you can exit if you are buying from here. If you manage to enter from here, then you can also be looking for an entry, because this setup is about to be exhausted. This wave is about to be exhausted. So anytime from now, be on the lookout for a sell. Now the sell might be an impulse down, or it can just be a bigger corrective structure like this. So be on the lookout to sell this corrective structure, but just keep in mind that if you are to sell the corrective structure, it's a movement that will not take less time. It's just gonna move like this, up down like that. So just know that if you are to trade this corrective structure. On this chart we have Euro Nzd, and on Euro Nzd we were focusing an up move. We're expecting a wave up. We stated that we're expecting a wave up. On trading view, we focused at this down move here. We said we're expecting this down move and then this up move, and as you can see, we got this down move and this up move, and then from here we're getting this down move. So one thing to keep in mind here is that what we were focusing was an impulse move, but since price is moving like this, this might mean something different. Looking at this current structure here, we might push from here up to this area, slightly breaking this previous high, just maybe maximum of up to this area. Then from here we can be sharing a different structure. We'll be assessing structure. Whatever would be following from here might mean that we might be pushing down based on the structure that we will get from right from this area. It might mean that we'll be heading this down move here, breaking this previous low, or we can have up like this. Then from here maybe we can get a correction like this, then we can push up like this, and then from here we can give you another update, an updated version of this. But as of now, based on this current structure, we may just get this up move here, breaking this previous high, slightly breaking this previous high. So this up move here, still it's an up move that was focused from here, so we will still have this big up move in mind. But until we get a short structure that is a reversal, then here, this is when you can just be careful. So if you are already buying from here, or you are looking for a buy here, just ensure that from here, right from here, if you get an entry, and the moment price breaks this previous high, manage your trade and make sure that you shift your stop loss to break even or to profits. Also, if you are looking for an entry here, just make sure that you follow your entry strategy very well. Just only look for a buy if you're convinced, because there's always a chance that we can get a slight correction here then push down. So here you must know that we can get this down move, but if you feel like we may get this up move here, you can look for entry. You can look for entry here, but just know that the entry will be risky because this move is a small move. The best time to have looked for entry is either from this area or from this area. Those are the best times to have looked for an entry. So just trade this with care if you are to trade Euro NZD. There's NZD CAD here. So on NZD CAD, we focused at a big down move here. Actually, the down move was focused up to this area. It was focused up to this area, and we're expecting to see how price behaves around this level, and then based on how price behaves, we will say that we would let it complete its movement, or we would look for entry. But this down move was a down move that was forecasted, and then after we got this slight correction, we say that we may get another down move, just maybe a slight down move up to around this area. And then as price was unfolding, we realized that, oh, this is actually an impulse move, it's a bigger movement, so we're just gonna wait for it to complete. So right around this area, we will be looking for our entry. If we get our entry confirmation, we will be looking for a buy opportunity. Also, as you are looking for a buy opportunity here, just be on the lookout, because what structure might give here, we might just give maybe a slight corrective structure, then push down just slightly down, then we can still look for an up move like this. So what we're saying basically is that around this area, right around this area, this is a zone of buyers. It's a zone of buyers. So whatever down move that follows, this is a down move that you should avoid. It's a down move that we are encouraging you to avoid, because this is a zone of buyers, and if you are to look for any entry, it should be a buy, not a sell. Because if we are to get a sell is just going to be a small down move, and then if we are to get a buy is going to be a big movement. It can even head all the way up to this area, or even break beyond this area here. That's on NZD CAD. This is USD CAD. For USD CAD, you all know that we focused at a big wave right from here. We said that there's a pivot point, and we're expecting a big movement up. That's a movement that we made on USD CAD, and as you can see, we've already gotten an impulse move here. And we're starting to get price moving like this, So what's next here? We can have a movement like this, then we can have something like this, then up, then maybe a correction here, then up. Or right from here, what can happen is just get a small correction here, then down like this. Then from here, we can be pushing up. Our direction is up. Our main direction is up. Right from this area, the direction has been up, and we're still expecting more up on USD CAD. This is Euro AUD here. For Euro AUD, right from this area, we focused at a big impulse up. We focused on an impulse up, then we got up, we got a correction like this up to around this area, up to around origin, slightly above origin, because this is where origin was. We focused on an up move like this, then correction to about slightly above origin, then we got an impulse move like this, then we got a down move, then we got an up move like this. So based on structure here, one thing that can follow is just movement like this, then down. Then from here, after slightly breaking the previous low, we can get an up move like this. And this is an up move that you must be careful on, because we were expecting an impulse move, but how structure is developing is not showing that we might even head up, all the way up like this. What structure is showing, it only shows that there are chances that we might get a down move from here, a down move like this. So if you are in this trade, manage your trade for now, because there's an expected down move here to slightly break this previous low. Just be careful if you manage to get a buy either from here or from here. Just be careful, because there's slightly an expected down move. Maybe we can get this up move and down move, then from here we might not even go beyond this low here. Maybe from here, then maybe we can look for a buy opportunity like this. That's what we have on our analysis, because this is only focused. We are only focusing here. We are not giving any entries. These are not entries. This is only focus. We're just trying to help you, give you direction. Only in the inner circle is where we give our entries, and where we share more tips. This is just focused. on Nzd Jpy, there's two chances. Remember, from here we focused on a down move. We say that we're expecting a big wave down based on the structure that we got at that time, and we got an impulse move like this, and after we got that impulse move, we got a sudden movement up like this. Now what can happen here, we can get a down move like this, breaking this previous low. That's a very possible structure. And another option, we can just get something like an impulse, a small impulse move, slightly breaking this previous low up to this area, and then we can have an up move like this. Then from here we can be looking forward for a down move, but that down move will not go as deep as this. We can have only that down move to around this area, and then this after slightly breaking this previous low and this previous low, this structure will be reassessed. We'll be giving you an update on that, so just keep that in mind. We were expecting this big impulse move, but it looks like structure might change a little bit, and that's the main reason why we give you updates on a weekly basis, so that whenever structure has changed, we give you that update, and whenever structure is still promising, we still continue to give you that update. So as of now, we are still expecting either just a small down move here, then up like this, or we can have this down move like this, breaking this previous low. After getting this down move, breaking this previous low, we can move up. We can move up here. We can move up. That's on Nzd Jpy. That's the structure that we have on Nzd Jpy. One other pair that we covered on our previous analysis is Nzd USD. For Nzd USD, right from this area, we focused at a corrective structure, and then we say that after a corrective structure, we're expecting a down move here, and then we got that down move. We thought that this might be the last down move. We thought that this might be the last down move, but we also say that we'll be observing before looking for entry. Now this is a tricky one. Once structure looks like this, two things can happen. We can have a corrective structure like this and then head up, but this has slight chances, just slight chances. The chances are slim, so we might get a corrective structure here and up. Another option is we might get a growing correction. We might just get a correction, like small correction like this, then up to slightly break this previous high. And if you look into this might just be an advancing correction. It might just be an advancing correction, and then it can grow bigger. Then we can get a down move like this, breaking this previous lows up to around this area. Then from this area, this is when we might be getting this up move. That is the most possible structure to get, so be on the lookout. Even if you look for entry here to buy, just keep this in mind that this is possible. So the moment you look for entry around this area and we have price moving like this, you should be able to look for entry and shift your stop loss to break even as soon as possible, because if we get this, so that you can be protected against having your stop loss hit. Then if you get your stop loss hit here, then from this down move here, you can be looking forward for an entry to buy like this, The main goal is to look for this bigger buy. If we get it around this area, that's good. Also, if you are more preservative, you can be looking forward for that entry right from this area, so that you have a stop loss that is not too wide, because that's the main goal. Whenever you want to look for an entry, you want to look for an entry that gives you the smallest stop loss possible. That's what you need to be looking for when trading the market. You need to avoid wider stop losses, so that in the long run, that risk to reward can work in your favor. So that's the tip that we can give you right now. We have GBP USD here. We have GBP USD. For GBP USD, we focus at a movement from here. We say that we're expecting a big down wave. Now, the way GBP USD is unfolding might be a little confusing for some of you, because we're expecting an impulse move and we're getting price moving, impulse, corrective structure, impulse like this, corrective structure. Just like we focused this previous week, we say that we're expecting a corrective structure here, then more down, and this down move can just slightly break this previous low. And if we get this down move breaking this previous low, if you manage to enter around this area, make sure that your stop loss is at break even, because from here, this is showing that we may get an up move like this, we may get an impulse move like this. But if you are selling right from this area or right from this area, do not exit immediately. Just wait for your stop loss to be hit on break even, or in whatever profits that you are in, because even though we're expecting this down move, the bigger structure is still in our favor. It's still showing a big wave down. So even if we get this movement up, we may get this down move we may get this big down move later, or even from here, because of due to the momentum being caused on the bigger time frames, we might even get this impulse down right from this area. It's very possible. It has happened in most pairs, and it would keep on happening in the future. It would happen. So just don't clear out the chances of price moving impulsively from this area. But at the back of your mind, just keep in mind that there's a structure that is forming still against us. That is just a temporary structure on GBP USD.